This video is brought to you by Blue Guardian, the only prop firm that protects their traders.
You can't see this one because this is on a lower time frame, but that's one there. We have one here, and then we have one here. So 3 levels, really just between the high and the low. So where do we reprice, and then we broke, right? So those are going to be our 3 levels. Now, I'm not saying we're going to see reactions from this, right? I'm not a Forex god. No one is. All we can do, and the people who are most successful are not 100% traders. They don't win 100% of the time. No one, it's impossible to. It is 100% impossible to. The traders who are the most successful are the ones who can diagnose the market and attack the market the same way, whether they won or lost the previous trade. It's all in your mind. Good day, fellow traders. Hope you guys are doing really well today. Welcome back to another pre-market analysis video. If you did watch last week's video, you will have noticed that a lot of the setups discussed played out very well this week. I'm going to be going over quite a bit of those setups. Please be sure, if you guys are interested in learning more about smart money concepts, that you follow along with these pre-market analysis videos, as they give direct insight as to how the markets move from an institutional standpoint, how the markets are manipulated, and the very easy steps you can follow to put together a trading plan to ultimately trade this just like me. So I really put together a very simplistic approach, not only for myself, but for my clients as well. Because trading does not need to be difficult. We just need to be disciplined, maintain good psychology, and look for the same setups every time. The reason why traders fail is because they cannot seem to get out of their own way, whether that be psychologically, whether that be not having enough discipline, or just making silly mistakes. So if you guys are interested in learning more about smart money concepts and learning how you can master your own psychology and do this every single day with a simplistic approach, feel free just to head over to my website, arielfxtrading.com. Book a free call with me. It's free. We'd love to chat with you, maybe 10-15 minutes, about how we can best assist you along your trading journey. And if it's the right fit, we'd love to have you on board. And if it's not, no worries. We will be happy to even just send you our trading plan absolutely for free. All right, guys, so we're going to get right into it. I'm not going to discuss all these pairs. I'm going to go over the ones highlighted in red, of course, but I do want to touch upon a couple of setups that we discussed last week that are not highlighted in red. I'm not going to go over analysis for them. I just wanted to highlight the analysis from the prior week, so you guys can see what we talk about on a week-to-week basis and how stuff sets up and reacts from these levels.
Our sponsor Blue Guardian is the only prop firm that gives their traders a tool to protect them from hitting their max daily loss and over trading. It's super simple to use. Just set the Guardian Protector each day from your dashboard. Did you also know that they've just released an unlimited time evaluation with a 0 trading days requirement, giving you plenty of time to hit their low 8 and 4% targets, making it super fast to get funded. Plus, it's cheaper than the 40-day time limit evaluation. Check out the link and coupon in the description to get 10% off your next Blue Guardian evaluation.
So I'm going to first start off by talking about the US dollar. You know, we didn't really have a very hefty week in terms of the dollar. We can see that this was last Thursday, so about 8 days ago, so over a week. So we've really just been chopping the past week. We saw some bullish injection, and then it was just short off, rise up, short off, rise up, short off. So just really in consolidation overall in the higher time frame, and I've been over this plenty of times before. We are likely to rise into 13,253, which is this imbalance and last supply zone. So expect more dollar bullishness this upcoming week or in the next couple of weeks. Now, it doesn't mean to just place buy orders on the dollar just because we could see a fall. But overall, if we see some XXXUSD sell setups, it's probably good to say that we're likely to go long on dollar. So XXXUSD looking for shorts. With that in mind, we're going to be going over a lot of these dollar-based pairs. We have AU, we have EU, we have GU, we have USDCHF. But I want to quickly get into AUDJPY. This is a setup that we talked about this past week. So 2 pre-market analysis videos ago, we talked about this setup here, this area of supply, and how we broke structure, made that lower low, pull back into that level, and had a reaction. I also talked about pulling back up into imbalance in here and looking for sell setups in that level, and we had that reaction. During the past week, we saw a reaction from a miniature level here of supply. I talked about this within my VIP. Now, of course, you know, this is not insignificant profit, but we can see that with this retail trend line, we have a lot of sell side liquidity below that. So I do expect at least some sort of manipulative run lower before potential longs, or we'll just continue short. So either way, I do think that we'll see some more selling pressure. All right, so that was AJ. That was what we talked about a couple weeks ago. AUDUSD. So I really don't have anything new on it. I will say that overall we are in a bearish market. As we can see, within the past couple of weeks, we have been trickling down, making a lower low, lower high into this level of supply. This is the last repricing, this last buying volume before we made that lower low below that low. That creates the supply zone. That's exactly why we came back up into that level. We distributed in price, failed to generate a higher high because this is the counter trend in here. We're making a series of higher highs and higher lows. This is where we failed, made that lower low, so that will turn in to supply there. And of course, that's exactly where we had that level of supply in that entry. So talked about that on last week's pre-market analysis video. I mentioned that we do have equal lows. And this past week, we formed more equal lows. So again, more selling pressure coming for AU. That gives us a good correlation with the dollar because we're expecting dollar strength, and also AJ shorts as well. That would be a good correlative pair for AJ. So we talked about that this upcoming week, had a good reaction off this level. Just floating a little bit of profit right now. Overall, I expect price to roll over and fall. Continuing here, EURAUD, the inverse of AUDUSD. So looking for continuations long as we are looking for continuations short on AU. So on the higher time frame, we are definitely bullish. Now we can see here that we had a huge accumulation schematic. If you scale in, that's beautiful accumulation. So where is the overall structure? Well, we don't need to make this difficult, right? So on the higher time frame, this is a high, this is a low, this is a higher high. So technically, until we make a higher high, we could go like this. This would be an overall pullback within this expansionary move. What we could also classify as structure is this high, this low, and this high. So intermediate swing points could point to, higher high, higher low into this demand, and then another higher high. That's what we could expect. Overall, we're looking for Euro Aussie dollar to go long and to make an overall higher high. So I'm going to keep this level down in here. Just in case we do end up falling. That would be an interesting level. However, that may not ever happen, right? We could easily just continue long. We're bullish. We're maintaining structure here. High, low, potential higher high. Even in the lower time frame, high, low, high. So why not continue to look for buys if we have a setup for it? So as discussed this past week, I'm going to scale into the 1 hour. Why did we stop right there? Why did we stop there? Make a high, fail to make a lower low, and then make a higher high and start the uptrend. Why did we stop right there? Well, we zoom out to this level, right? This is just a fancy higher high, overall pullback, higher high, right? The consolidation, maybe reaccumulation in a sense. So where is the last selling volume? Well, really, it's right in here. However, we can see that we have our last area of demand. Now, this is not obvious. This is something that will take time for you to get experience with and see. How I like to look at it is this, right? This is the high. Where is the end of the pullback? Well, it's right here, and that's where we started the expansion to the upside. So where is that final selling volume? Well, it's going to be within here, and this is where we get it. Sell to buy, we stopped and go long. So that's why we have that level. That's exactly why price stopped at that level. We generated liquidity prior to coming into that level, swept the stops, continuations long. Generated more equal highs, just further, conviction that we're likely to go long here. And then more importantly, we failed to generate the lower low, and that's where we came into that demand and then made a higher high. So we have that 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive. We could even see a 4th, who knows? Overall, we're bullish. We need to be looking for longs. I did say within a pre-market analysis video, if you guys are in my VIP, that we were looking for longs from this last selling pressure here. This is the repricing, right? This is the end of the pullback. That's our final sell-off before the higher high was made. That's the demand, and we got a beautiful sniper entry. I also said that we could be looking to sell potentially in this region. Why? Well, we had equal highs that were run, buy to sell, then this retail trend line was faked out from, and then we went short. So that was that buy to sell, that was the supply. So in case we were to continue short, because I would classify this as the structure, right? 1, 2, 3 potentially, that would be the level in which you could sell. So I talked about potentially hedging. So if you are in shorts here, you should also be in longs. So you should be in net profit. And even if we were to go short right now, I will be looking to continue to long this. We are bullish. High, low, high, low, high, right? If we're pushing higher, what's the probability that we go long versus short? Well, it's higher, right? It's higher that we go long versus short. So what I'm looking for are pullbacks into the repricing. Why is it repricing? Well, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, failed. That's repriced, and then continuations with the overall trend. I don't have a very sophisticated approach to the market. And I think that's why I'm very successful in trading, is because for one, I have good psychology, and two, I keep it super, super simple. And the more simple you make it, the more stress-free it is in your trading, and the more, the better experience you'll have and the longevity that you'll have in the market. And I feel like that's why our clients do so well, is because they create a simplistic approach instead of trying to make things difficult for themselves and having the information overload that people often have. So make it very, very simple, and then we'll continue. So overall pullbacks, we had this imbalance in here, so likely to pull back into that level and go long. I am looking for continuations. Euro GBP, again, very, very simple. I think this is, a reaccumulation. So I was really hoping that we would get a deeper pullback. As we can see, this is a high, this is a low, this is a high. I was hoping that we'd get a deeper pullback before continuing, but we never did. So we have to adapt to the market, right? We accumulated very nicely, and then we made a higher high in the market. I would like to see just continuations off the nearest demand zone, which is right here. Also, 4-hour 50 EMA is approaching, could be the catalyst to drive price higher. And we can see that on the higher time frame, right? We always have to zoom out, that we are being capped by the daily 50 EMA. Also, this is the last supply zone, the last buying volume before the sell-off. We have imbalance in here. We haven't reached that zone. That's the objective. So we're likely to run higher, potentially into 8,750 or 8,760 potentially, maybe even higher than that. Overall, looking for continuations long. GBPUSD, as we'll talk about here soon, we're looking for shorts, so that would just be great for Euro GBP longs. So just into that overall area of demand, looking for continuations. All right, Euro USD. So same sort of deal here on the dollar. We're looking for continuations short overall. However, we are generating a lot of liquidity. So this is liquidity here. I will say that there's a lot of buy side. So what we could see, we may not actually maintain this structure here and go short, right? Because first and foremost, we never made a lower low. This is not a lower low compared to that low yet. So could we run higher, maybe have some sort of A into B into C, and then we fall, right? Maybe up into this level here. That could be a potential for shorts. Overall, I do think that the dollar will continue to strengthen, and I want to look for selling opportunities. So on the 1 hour time frame, we are into this last supply zone, right? That was the repricing before we went short, creating the huge imbalance move. So we're pulling back ever so slightly. So we had the reaction this past Thursday, so yesterday, we had the reaction, but we never had any follow through yet. Not to say that we can't get it, but overall, I am looking for shorts. I would like to see this short off. We are into that supply zone, so we are going to be looking for shorting opportunities. However, don't be surprised, because next week we have a lot of news coming out that we may actually push higher, sweep all this internal liquidity, maybe come up into this huge imbalance zone, into this huge buy to sell, and then potentially short off again. So just be really like a glorified overall pullback and then a lower low potentially. So potential counter trend longs, because I guess you can say we are counter trend bullish, is we have this level of repricing here. So that's a level of demand. We have the high, we have the low, we have the high. That could be a low for another higher high, right? So that selling volume before the up thrust, that we have also a lot of imbalance in there as well, sitting around that psychological level 1.0550. So potential hedges are in order. We are potentially looking for longs, but also dollar strong. So I do want to be looking for shorts. That's Euro USD.
Folks, Black Bull Markets have 10 merch packs to give away to clients who sign up before the end of the year, including one of these trader keys. So to go in the draw, all you need to do is sign up with the link below this video or in the podcast description, and you'll go in the draw to win. It's that simple. And remember, folks, when you sign up to Black Bull Markets through the TRADINGNUT link below, you're going to get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000 on your first deposit. All you need to do is click the link in the description below the video or the podcast.
GBPAUD called this out beautifully. I called actually 2 levels out beautifully. One, I called out in last week's pre-market analysis video, and then the second one was called out a few days ago within my VIP, because obviously I'm not sending videos to you guys every single solitary day. I do that for VIP. So anyways, GBPUSD, we are at least counter trend bullish. Not to say that we can't run lower. However, we are still maintaining our higher time frame structure. So definitely extremely bullish higher time frame. If we look at it from this perspective, we have a high, we have a low, we have a high, we have a higher low, potential higher high. So maintaining this internal structure here may get us that catalyst to drive higher into that higher high. So scaling into the 4 hour, we can notice that we've stopped, we've broken the structure to the upside. We have failed to generate any sort of lower low. We've made a higher high, we've made a higher low again, and then looking for another higher high. So what I called out was this level here. Why is this level so important? Well, we've created a higher high. So we've broken the counter trend, right? This is the end of this pullback. We have broken it to the upside. Where did we fail to generate the lower low? Right in here. That's the repricing. We also had imbalance. So we created internal lows, swept them, swept the stops into that demand, went long. In the process of going long and creating this expansionary move, what we did do is we created this counter trend. Low, high, failed, higher high. Creates the demand. We also have imbalance in here as well, just straight buying volume. Not very obvious, but you'll be able to pick that up over time. So that's the demand. We came a little bit lower. So here's another piece of advice for you guys that may have lost on this trade. Is many of you would probably have done something like this, to where you would have put stop below the repricing, which is not a bad idea. However, where is the overall structure? Where is the overall range? Well, the range is not from here to here, it's from the low to the high. So you really need to place your stops here. What I would recommend doing is splitting positions, placing maybe two half risk positions, both at the same entry. One stop loss goes below that low, and then one goes below the previous low here, to kind of give you an average of a better risk to reward overall. So something to consider. Because that does happen from time to time. You know, a lot of the times we'll just come into it, react, and go long, right? But sometimes we will take that previous low, maintain the structure, because right, this low did not take out that low, and then go long. So just, you know, food for thought there. Anyways, great trade. We also, when we made I wouldn't say a higher high yet, we haven't broken counter trend, but you know, we can see the reaction from the level. We have our two repricings, one here and one here. So I said both of those levels are good. We only came into the first, had a great reaction, looking to target these relatively equal highs. This high did not take that high. These are relatively equal, a lot of buy side liquidity, and we're bullish overall. So great setups, great trades, all in all. GBP USD. So last week, you know, obviously we are higher time frame bearish. I'll just quickly zoom out to show you, right? Overall bearish. We have an objective down here around 1.195. 1.2 is still on the cards, right? 1.2 is an extremely sensitive region for GBPUSD. It is a huge psychological level. We see we haven't come into that level yet, so I definitely expect further downside. But anyways, making lower lows, lower highs. This is the previous supply zone, this huge buy to sell. We created trendline liquidity, 1, 2, 3 touches. We ran that liquidity into supply, mitigated, broke the structure back to the downside. So I am expecting price to go short, whether that be off of a sell to buy to sell or some sort of buy to sell. All right, I'm looking for manipulation because we have imbalance in here. We have that last up thrust, that small area of supply. We have 1.2250, 1.23 psychological levels, and we are generating buy side and sell side, right? We're stuck in this range. So retail, we're building liquidity to either maybe take shorts first, then take longs, then take shorts, meaning not taking actual short and long trades. I'm talking about liquidity, taking sell side, buy side liquidity, and then going in the overall direction. I don't care if a news event comes out and it does this, or if it does this, or if it does this, and then goes short. Overall, the objective is still down in here. And I'm looking for excuses to look to short, right? Looking for setups to short it. You can see how I'm building confluence. I'm using retail, going in the opposite direction of retail. I'm using liquidity. I'm using retail patterns to justify retail losing and obviously us smart money traders winning. Structure, supply and demand, objective, correlation, fundamentals, everything that goes into my trading to make it very, very simplistic on the eyes, very easy on the eyes, and also simplistic understanding. It does not need to be difficult. It just takes the right education, the right way of looking at it, and then practice. There's nothing special. When someone goes and says, hey, I have the secret formula to the Forex market, they're lying. They're scammers. They're probably broke, and that's how they make their money, is by scamming and taking your money. What you really need to understand about anything in life is that it comes down to learning how to do it, education, right? And then practice. There's nothing special about anything else. It just takes experience, right? So that's why a lot of people, when they start trading and they can't do it immediately, they quit, right? First time you ride a bike, are you good at it? Absolutely not. You fall, obviously. First time you play a musical instrument, are you a master? No, you're not. So why do you expect to make money instantly when you first start trading or within your first 2 years? You're not going to, because you have to understand how the markets work, not just by seeing the concepts and learning it, but by seeing it real time for years and years and years, and seeing and creating the patterns of seasonalities in the market. The markets move in different months, right? Now that's for another time, but it's not always going to be the same. And many people think that there's going to be a formula. Oh, well, tell me how it moves in April. It's such a dumb question to ask, right? And it's really a lot of incompetence that needs to be fixed. And I think it's the instant gratification mindset that really leads into the incompetence aspect. But anyways, not going to go into the whole psychological issues. I have a whole site course on that. Helps you to alleviate a lot of problems that you don't even know you face. So it's all a part of my overall mentorship, and I think that's why we do very well with our students. Anyways, continuation short is what I expect. Sorry, I get on tangents, guys. USD Swiss franc, higher time frame. Yes, we are in this current state bearish. Dollar is strong overall, but we're seeing extremely strong Swiss franc, right? So I do expect when the Swiss franc finally starts to maybe weaken a little bit, we'll start to overpower that with dollar strength. We'll come back into the market. So what I'm really looking for next is to take this internal liquidity here and come into these levels. Now, why are those levels important? Well, I've talked about these many times before. However, what's important to know, and especially if you're in our VIP, you'll have a full understanding of what's going on in here. And I mean, this is like a piece of art. Like, this is something I would take a picture of and hang on my wall. Right? Seriously, like, this is something that is very beautiful. Why? Because it paints a beautiful illustration of exactly how not only the financial markets work, but how the world works, right? There are people, the elites, who control the world. If you don't already understand that, they're doing their job correctly. That's why we have to break out of the matrix. Anyways, what we need to understand is there are very few people, or very few groups of people, in terms of the financial markets, the big institutions, the Federal Reserve, that's controlling price. They're controlling the price of the asset class. They can manipulate it on demand. They have the capital to do so. You don't. I don't. No individual does. We don't have billions and billions of dollars to do so. And even if we did, there wouldn't be enough liquidity for us to get filled at those positions to be able to do that, right? It's all based upon interbank algorithms, right? So when we fall trapped to the retail mindset, we're always going to lose, right? We're always going to lose. That's why we need to trade institutionally. This is a beautiful picture because we can see that since August 14th, 2023 to August 24th, 2023, this is 10 days, this is 2 weeks time, we built an area of resistance and we built an area of support. It's very easy to see, but it's easy to fall victim to. We broke out. How many traders are looking to buy above the resistance, above the breakout? Probably a lot. How many people are looking to wait for the pullback to go long? Probably a lot, right? So when we sweep everyone out of the market, when it comes back down, we take buy side and then comes back down and take sell side. All the sellers from resistance are out. All the buyers above the breakout are out. Now we do the opposite, do the same thing, but the opposite direction. We take anyone who is buying for the support, we take them out. Anyone who is selling the breakout of the support, we take out when we go long again. It's a buy to sell to buy. It's our what we like to call at Aerial FX type 2 manipulation. So where's our repricing events? Well, we have a few. We'll go to the 1 hour and show you. You can't see this one because this is on a lower time frame, but that's one there. We have one here, and then we have one here. So 3 levels, really just between the high and the low. So where do we reprice, and then we broke, right? So those are going to be our 3 levels. Now, I'm not saying we're going to see reactions from this, right? I'm not a Forex god, right? No one is. All we can do, and the people who are most successful are not 100% traders. They don't win 100% of the time. No one, it's impossible to. It is 100% impossible to, right? The traders who are the most successful are the ones who can diagnose the market and attack the market the same way, whether they won or lost the previous trade. It's all in your mind. All right, think about it like, let's see, Navy SEAL training, right? My brother's a Navy SEAL, right? That's probably where I get a lot of my good psychology from, is my family. So he's a Navy SEAL. Anyone can probably become a Navy SEAL, right? It is not that, of course, they put you under a lot of physical stress, but it is all in your mind. If you can push your mind to levels that you never thought you could, if you could get out of that mindset and really be able to control your emotions in your mind, you can do things that you wouldn't have even thought possible, right? It's all in your mind. Your body can achieve so much more than you think it really can. But what's preventing you from achieving that, whether that be physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, is all in your mind. It's all you subconsciously telling yourself that you can't do something. It happens all the time when we don't even realize it. We have to be able to be in control of our mind to be able to break out of what we think we can't do. Hard to explain, but that's exactly what it is. For traders, we have to be able to control our emotions, even during the toughest of times. When we go on a losing streak, we want to make that money back, right? That's not going to, over leveraging and doing all the stupid stuff is not going to help our cause, because you're deviating from your plan. Sticking to the plan and knowing that this may be a beautiful setup, we could lose. What if price goes like that? You probably come back at me. The people who are most emotional in trading will be like, Nate, you're wrong. You're a terrible trader. You didn't know what you were talking about. And it happens from time to time. You lose trades. You're not going to win everything. I certainly don't. But what I am able to do is I'm able to take a situation, build confluence, have the conviction, and attack the market the same way. If this situation were to happen on another pair and I lost, I would attack the market the exact same way on this pair. Why? Because overall, I know my plan works and I'm in it for the long run. Everyone who is trading or investing or doing anything for the short term is always going to lose in the long run. Why? Because the long run always outbeats the short run. Good example, and sorry, I'll finish up with my tangent here, but this is something that's very, very important. There are a lot of people out there, especially as of late, promising you major returns in the Forex market. All right, I'm not going to name names, but there are a lot of people out there, especially the ones who are, selling signals or courses or algorithms or whatever they want to sell, that they're promising big returns. And many people will flock to those returns. Why? Because who doesn't want to make a lot of money? But no one understands the risk behind that kind of return. Everyone is focused on how much money can I make and not how much am I risking and the possibility of ruin based upon that reward that I'm aiming to get. Right? The ones who look at risk first are the ones who are more successful overall. The ones who are looking at reward first might outbeat the ones who are looking at risk first in the short run, but the ones who are looking at risk first are always going to be the ones that outbeat the ones looking for return first in the long run, if that makes sense. Right? So if I said I'll give you $1 million every day for the next 30 days, but there's a 50% chance that you'll blow it, or I'll say, I'll give you $100 a day for the rest of your life. What would you take? Well, a lot of people would take the $1 million because it's instant gratification. It's a large return. But at some point, you're going to lose that. The chances of you losing it are extremely high. But so, of course, you're going to outbeat the one making $100. But if I give you $100 for every day for the rest of your life and give you a guarantee, well, overall, when that person blows all their millions of dollars, which will happen eventually, that person who's making 100 will consistently see that linear growth, right? It's all about the long run. So again, sorry for the tangent, but it's so important to understand probabilities and understanding that we may not win this trade. But if you attack the market the same way every single time for, let's just say 10 trades that look the exact same, you're probably have an extremely high probability of being in net profit after those 10 trades or 20 trades or 30 trades or whatever, right? The long run always wins. So anyways, looking for that. Again, sorry for the tangent. It's important to have, this type of knowledge and the basic understanding. NZDCAD. So NZDCAD, we're currently extremely bearish right now. We're making lower lows, lower highs. I do expect a lower low in the market as of now. We're continuing to trickle. So let's just follow the structure, right? It's all we can do, right? If someone said, oh, well, we've sold off so much, let me try to buy it. Okay, you buy it, it sells off again. Oh, we're in more of a discount. Let's try to buy it again. Nope, sells off again. Oh, let's try to buy it again. We're in more discount. Keep selling off. Why are you continuing to look for buys? Continue to sell the freaking market until it breaks. It's not hard. Supply zone, imbalance, lower low, lower high, short it. Supply zone, imbalance, lower low, lower high, short it. Fine. If it comes up here and you short it again and you lose, well then, you've won all these trades before. You're still in net profit. Continue to trade with what's obvious. We're in a freaking bearish market. Why are we looking to buy? If we get conviction to buy, if we actually break out, maybe fail to make a lower low and a higher high, and we have a high probability set up for our third drive, then yeah, there you go. Then you can buy it. But know what's obvious and do what's simple. So I'm just going to continue to look for shorts. We have a lower low. We have a lower high. We have a lower low. Where is the end of this pullback? Well, we have a high, we have a low, we have a high, we have a low, we have a high, we have a low. We have a high, we have a low, we failed to generate the higher high, made the lower low, and that's where we started the downtrend. So that's our repricing. That is our last buying volume that we're likely to get into around 0.8 or 0.801, and we look for shorts again, right? Because if we're in a bearish market, the probability of us going short is higher than us going long. It's just simple. It's common sense. All right, same sort of deal for AUDCAD. Looking for overall shorts. I'm not going to talk too much about the higher time frame just because likely we'll probably get to another video before it comes up into that, if it even does to begin with. We're overall bearish and looking for shorts anyways. So I'm just going to talk about what's more imperative at the moment. We've kind of distributed in price. We've kind of created equal highs here. We've ran that with this wick, ran it, pushed down, pulled back, failed to generate the higher high, and followed through the downside. We can see we pulled back into that last buying volume, supply also imbalance, had a reaction from it. It had an internal level of supply here, had a reaction. So just all lower time frame stuff, just working from the higher time frame all the way down to the lower time frame. So potential for pullbacks and continuations. We can see that we had a lower low, lower high, lower low. Good pullback into our last buying volume here, and then look to sell off again for another lower low in the market. So just something like that, keeping it simple, and then we just keep moving on. Last one for the weekend, AUDNZD. So called this out. Why isn't this working for me? There we go. Called this out plenty of times before. I'm not going to get into the whole breakdown. If you guys want to have a super in-depth breakdown on this that's going to blow your mind, go back and watch last week's pre-market analysis video. It's really cool. It just goes to show how every little thing is pre-planned. Every little thing, whether or not you realize it, will come to fruition when it needs to be. Nothing is random. Everything has a purpose. So anyways, we caught this buy, sell side liquidity, break and retest, retail was shorting. We're longing. Of course, we observe the masses and we do the opposite. That's why we win and the majority loses, creating this huge imbalance, came back down, swept sell side. So generated liquidity. That's a great sign before coming into that level. Generate liquidity and we take it. Take the sell side. We accumulate on a lower time frame into our level. So this is already our objective. We're accumulating, and then boom, we expand. So now what's left? Well, if we get a pullback, right, we're kind of just trickling now, but I'd like to see sell side taken into this huge imbalance, maybe into that demand, and look to go long, right? Looking for overall longs in the market to then create higher highs and higher lows. All right, so this may not happen this upcoming week. We may just continue to trickle, but if we get pullbacks into that level, into discount, then I will be looking for longs. Anyways, guys, I know I talk fast. I know I go on tangents, but I think it's for your own good. I think that, having this understanding and just building the right set of skills and the right psychology is what's going to help you in the long run. And of course, we know the long run always outbeats the short run. But of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to help in any way possible. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about how I trade very simplistically, head over to my website, aerialfxtrading.com, book a free call with me. I'd love to talk to you about how we can best help you if we can. And if we can, we'd love to get you on board. And if not, no worries. At least you know that it's not the right fit, and we'll even provide our trading plan for free for you. Anyways, guys, have a great weekend and have a great trading week upcoming, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Tired of missing trades or spending hours at the charts? Introducing my Robot Builders Club. With our platform, you can build bots in minutes, not weeks, without any coding required. Get lifetime access to my video course, VIP community, and over 40 ready-made robots. Works with MT4 or MT5, and as a bonus, you'll get 3 months access to my robot lab, where we build and test bots on live calls every week. Join the hundreds of traders who are trading smarter, not harder. Click the link in the description to learn more, get the free training, and download a free robot.